Hello, and welcome back to the final hour of episode 17 of Unfettered. Um, let's come back actually to Albert.
All right.
So you were on your way to the offices of the
Yeah.
Voyaging Dawn.
Yeah. That was the direction I was heading
Okay,
in.
so the offices of the Voyaging Dawn are in fact not much in the way of offices. There's a
Yeah.
small, I guess you could call it a shack, that has a door and a little like sandwich board out front that says Voyaging Dawn with their logo on it.
What the fuck is this?
One dude inside.
Is this the right place? I'll walk inside the office.
Okay, yeah, there's a clerk sitting behind the desk, and she has a novel in her hands that she's reading.
Am I correct in assuming that this is the offices of the Voyaging Dawn?
Yes, and you are.
Seems a little bit small for a corporate office or a large business shipping company's office buildings.
Oh, we run most of our business out in the tradeways. Not a whole lot of need to keep things going here.
Are these the headquarters, or do you have your headquarters elsewhere?
No, this is it. Home
This
sweet
is it.
home.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you keep your goods? Is it just all on your ships?
In our warehouses.
Oh. Okay. Do you have warehouses all over then?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get your name.
So, that's very interesting. So you seem to have a lot of warehouses. How much business do you lot do? I heard that there was a new company in town, but I didn't realize that they were, I thought they were larger than this.
I'm afraid I can't go into the finer details of our operation with a stranger.
Sorry, hold on a second.
You understand, I'm sure.
I'm trying to open my character sheet here. In just a moment, I'll do the thing I'm intending on doing.
There will probably be some dice rolls involved.
Dun, dun,
There's-
dun.
There's definitely dice rolls involved. Funny how easy that was to figure
Do
out.
those dice rolls involve a persuade check?
Yes.
Don't bother.
All right.
You are not going to be capable of persuading her with a persuade check.
Oh, no one. Just, an inspector. Holy shit.
Did you mean Imperator? This is
Right.
me as a DM asking you.
Well, oh yeah, an imperator.
Okay. Oh,
You see, I've heard quite
my
a few
apologies.
funny things.
She sets her book down and puts her hands in her lap.
You pull out the assassin's badge that we've been holding on
Yeah.
to for literally 10 episodes or something.
I'm so sorry, Imperator. You wanted to know about our warehouses?
Yes, your general operations. See,
I see. Of
quite a lot of
course.
business being done, and well, we wouldn't want to be misinformed on what that business is, now would we?
Let me just grab some papers from the back, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Go ahead and
Hunter's
roll a
Mark in.
perception check.
Figure. I'm just gonna like follow her back a little bit. Or who is it? What's going on with this person? Who are they? I didn't pay attention to the description.
Nice. It's the person that was working here.
Oh, right. Whatever.
Don't you wish you had Hunter's Mark as a spell right now?
Could you perhaps roll a perception check for me?
All right, Leafbo, you need to roll a perception check as well. You're standing in this room. All right, I have zero faith in myself, and that face
Okay, and
was
Leafo?
properly not placed.
19. Okay. Lifo is going to go ahead and attack her.
Holy shit.
So if you could just roll a weapon attack for me.
I like Lifo's
That'd be
perception
great.
checks more.
I do too, honestly.
He's just like, it's not like, hey guys, she's a demon. It's like, hey
12
guys.
hits. Go ahead and decide which spell slots he's spending on the smite and roll the smite damage.
All right.
Wait, is it an undead and or demon?
It's not.
Oh.
All right.
One with the extra D8.
He'll use the second level. I'm not gonna use third level.
Let's go for some overkill.
Okay. Yeah. He deals non-lethal damage, so she's not gonna die. But he swings out with his sword, blindingly fast, and just hits her in the side of the head with the flat of the blade. She goes down like a bag of rocks. Apologies. He puts the sword away.
I figured it'd be something along those lines. So, is she a demon?
No, of course not. He walks over and pulls a bracelet of beads off of her wrist and holds them out to you. It's a bracelet of beads of fireball.
Oh, well, rather interesting.
She was reaching for this.
Oh. Well, at least we know that the Empire isn't being implicit in this manner. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use my divine sensibility and see if I can sense anything nearby.
And that reveals to you fiends and celestials.
Evil you can see.
Evil you can see. Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was like a more general thing. Hold on.
Would I define her as evil? Yeah. Yeah, she's evil.
Well, okay, here, let's...
Yeah, hold on. We need to pull this up because I thought it was like a range. I sensed what was in the range, but not...
And it's line of sight. I
believe so, yeah.
Because I tried to use it that way, and you were the one who corrected me on that.
Alright. Good shit. Apparently I knew the rules better.
Back in the old days.
Back in the old days when I built not bullshit characters, I knew the rules.
Yeah. Now you don't need the rules, you just press buttons.
You know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover, which means...
that you can see.
Not line of sight.
Yeah.
God, that's...
Yeah, she's not a fiend, but she's pretty evil.
You also detect anything that's been desecrated or hallowed.
Oh yeah, this building has been desecrated.
Okay, cool.
Or hallowed. Hard to tell. It has been changed.
It is divine.
It's divine in nature. Well. Lifo, can you sense this? Not a pleasant feeling at all.
Yes, now that you mention it. What are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, now that we've knocked her unconscious, so first of all, I'm gonna tie her up and then like set her up in a bring her into the back room, set her up in a chair, and then I'll have Lifo assist me or should I assist Lifo? What's his intelligence? Do you do investigation, my bud? No, you don't. All right, so I'll have Lifo assist me in looking around to see if there's some kind of like hidden structures or trapdoors or something.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation.
All right, go ahead and take advantage because assistance is fun. All right, it's a 15.
Oh, you just barely made that roll.
I can feel it.
You don't find a trapdoor or anything, but underneath the desk she was sitting at, there's a small mechanical button with some symbols around it.
Yeah. I'll like take a glance at Lifo. I press it.
Nothing happens that you can see.
I take a look around the whole building.
It's a shack.
Nothing's changed. Well, I think that's probably the hidden alarm. Well, Lifo, it's been a wonderful time being here, but let's take this body and move.
Very well. Roll an athletics check.
I'm gonna have Lifo roll that because he's got strength.
To quote one of my players from the other night, don't refer to me as a body before I die.
All right. 21's good enough. You pick her up, or I guess Lifo picks her up and like puts her over his shoulders, and marches on out of the
I'm gonna lead us. I'm gonna lead us away from like civilization. We're not gonna run into the center of town carrying like this woman in.
Right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Step 1 is once you're about 3 steps out the door, the building explodes.
Oh, fun. Okay.
So if you could make a dex save for each of you, I'm just gonna roll some damage real quick.
Well, one of them's unconscious, so...
And he rolled a 10. Cool. What did I roll? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you're fine. You take no damage.
Lifo took a fuck ton of damage.
Lifo takes 29 damage, as does the woman he is carrying.
You have Revivify prepared?
I do, actually.
She's very dead. So let me paint you a picture. You're walking out of this building, and perhaps you turn away from Lifo to look down the street to make sure there's no one looking, and then behind you feel a wave of heat, and instinctively you dive forward and away from it. But looking back, you see Lifo get thrown about 20 feet into the street, where he lands rather unfortunately on the woman's neck. And yeah, well, she does, break his fall. He returns the favor by breaking, her neck. And the street is showered with little bits of burning wood.
I'm gonna like pull Lifo to his feet and like and like with the same action you see Albert's like body get covered in those same kind of cracks, and the molten energy flow through him, and with a single word he touches his hand to her face, and I cast Revivify. Do I have it prepared? Or I have it prepared. Do I have it written down?
Revivify. Let's see what that does.
It's a resurrect for someone who's been dead for less than a minute.
Touch a creature that's died. Boom. Okay, yeah. So you cast that on her, and like there's a sickening crunching sound as things rearrange, and then like her eyes open and she gasps.
Oh, God, I just immediately knock her out again.
She's like, and then you just punch her in the face. Roll the hit.
All right, and then what?
Roll the hit.
Oh, all right.
I mean, with advantage because she's prone.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna fucking use my rapier just so I don't have to type out the whole fucking thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Wow.
you just conk her on the head and she's out.
All right. So we're gonna grab her body and then flee into the wooded areas just outside of town.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you run outside of town with this poor woman.
Yeah.
And you
demon worshiper.
You settle down, gasping, in a glade. What do you do?
Yeah.
What is the plan?
I'm gonna kind of like look at Lifo. You don't happen to have any truth thing? Actually, wait, hold on a second. Isn't that a paladin thing?
Zone of Truth?
It is. Hell yeah. All right, Lifo, you have Zone of Truth because none of your spells are prepared. I'm realizing now. Whoops. I know, it's really good, really good. A+ job here, friends. Right, so we'll have that one prepared, and we'll make sure she's fully restrained. Search to see if she's not carrying any other beads of fireball on her. And then probably like wake her up with a splash of cold water.
Okay. Yeah, I think Lifo will likely heal himself if you're okay with that.
Oh yeah. No, he's not allowed to.
No, he has to save his lay on hands for you.
Yeah. What the fuck does he think he's doing? Jesus.
Just taking a cool 29 points of damage. Yeah, she wakes up after about 15 minutes or so.
Ah.
She pulls at the bindings. You're not an imperator, are you?
Well, I mean, you could say I'm something like that. Just for a bit of a different cause. So, who are you?
Where are we?
Oh, don't worry. I don't know where we are either.
She looks back at you just like, what?
Don't try figuring out this.
Constance logic.
What? Yeah, I think at that point maybe we get oh no.
They're idiots.
Too much time with Constance.
Too much time.
Too much time. Far too much time. Look, this all go over much easier if you just cooperate with us. We have a few questions for you about your business and the people you work for, and if you cooperate, we might be able to let you off quite easily. I mean, seeing as I've already had to bring you back from death, I think you'd owe me quite more than just one.
I work for the Voyaging Dawn.
Yes, and members of the Voyaging Dawn usually have these on their wrist.
It's a family heirloom.
Ah, yes, a family heirloom of explosives. And how about how the entire place was rigged with explosives? Lifo, just do that thing you said you could do.
Which thing?
He starts drawing his sword.
Yeah, I think so.
No, the other one.
I'm afraid you will have to be more specific. Oh.
Right.
Alright, so you create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point.
It's centered on her, and I'm standing outside of the sphere.
And she is aware that the spell is cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has to make his charisma saving throw.
For... Gotcha. Nope. Also, nope. I did that with the game camera. Surprise! Pulling back the curtain. I use another account to view Roll20. She begins to speak and then catches herself and looks around at the faint golden energy glowing in a circle around her.
No, please continue. What were you about to say?
They.
They.
The place blew up? It exploded?
Yes. Do you know how it was done?
No.
Do you know why it was done?
No.
Well, that's rather funny. And what did you say these were again? A family heirloom?
Yes.
Fuck is going on here?
You asked if that's what she said.
Oh, right. These are a family heirloom of yours, correct? Well, is it?
No.
Oh, right. Of course. And who gave you these? Who was it? Come on now, don't leave me hanging.
I don't want to tell you.
I didn't ask you if you wanted to tell me. Please tell me, who gave you these beads?
I need to not type this from that one. Slash roll. 1d20. Pop.
Ooh.
His name is Master Kittredge. That's the name I
Kittredge.
knew him by.
And and I presume he's your employer?
No,
Oh, something else.
he's the priest above me.
Is he related to the Voyaging Dawn?
Of course, the Voyaging Dawn is a front for the church.
I could figure as much. Tell me, I managed to see some of the records of the Voyaging Dawn's transactions. What's the purpose of them stockpiling oolite?
It's powerful.
No doubt.
Father Kittredge told me he said
Answer me.
he said that it could be used to make a gateway so that the angels could come back.
Where?
Here, where they
In
were
New
sent
Providence?
away from. No! Hersagul. He said that during the war, evil men banished them so that the world wouldn't be safe, so they could tear it apart. Ah!
And Clementine Dowershire. Do you know how she was connected to this?
Yes.
Well, then please elaborate.
She was in charge in Maradoon. Damn you. I'm going to try to kill you.
No doubt. I've had many people tell me that. Anyways, continue. Clementine Darrowshire. So she was in charge of Maradoon. What about Mullen?
I shouldn't tell you. If I tell you, they'll kill me.
Oh, you don't have to worry about them killing you. Now, answer me. Just gonna keep burning these spell slots to keep it going along.
Yeah, and I think at that point, like, her head flies back and her eyes roll into the back of her head. She hits it against the tree, and like she shakes her head a little bit. Here in Mulland, things are directed by High Priestess McCall, Kaylee McCall.
Interesting. Well, I think that'll probably do us. Do it for. Oh wait, hold on. Oh right, and of course, your true headquarters. Where are they located?
I never knew.
Well,
I wasn't worthy.
Okay. Interesting. And your priest that's above you.
Father
Where do you?
Kittredge.
Right. And where could I find him?
He
Or them.
always met me by the fountain.
Okay.
He would meet me every week, the same time.
And what time would that be?
When the clock struck 5 on the last day.
Of the week?
Yes.
Okay. And what does this Father Kittredge look like? I don't know. What does this priest look like?
Medium height. Portly. He's a merchant, I think. Has a poorly kept beard. Smells of onions. Candle wax.
Sometimes do. All right. Good. I'm glad we could have had this little talk. It really does answer quite a few of my questions, but you see, I'm afraid I can't leave you running around telling your organization what's been happening. So
I suppose you can't.
not much of a choice, really. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk over to her and stab her through the chest.
Yeah. She coughs up some blood, and then just like lets out one last death rattle, and dies.
All right. I'll like wave a hand and like channel that same molten energy to burn her corpse apart. And then shoot a look at Lifo. Well, it looks like I have an appointment.
Was that necessary?
Well, I ask myself that question rather often, Lifo, and I also ask myself, what are the consequences of not doing so? Who could possibly die from my decisions should I show too much leniency?
It is quite a presumption to think you know the answer to that question.
I don't. And that's why sometimes I choose to act in a way that I don't prefer. Anyways, she tried to kill us and all of that. You could chalk it up to self-defense if you want to justify it.
I feel no such desire.
All right.
Shall we proceed?
We have an appointment at 5, as I was saying.
It would appear that we do.
So we're gonna go ahead and leave.
Yeah, I think at this point we can we cut back to Constance.
Yeah.
Constance, you're on you're on a small island floating over the arcane. There's a bit of a hill, like a rocky hill, off to one side, and you're leaning up against a tree. And you snap awake. What do you do?
Where am I? Where? Okay, gotta do something about this lack of memory thing. All right, okay. Kind of look around, try to get my bearings.
Yeah, it's you could run across this island in maybe like 45 seconds. It's not very big. But looking around at the horizon, you don't see anything immediately apparent.
Ship? Nope. Well. Shit. And Constance is kind of sitting there for a second, and then you see her kind of start buzzing electricity between her fingers, just flicking it.
Yeah, you go to do that, and nothing happens.
Well, shit. I think Constance just kind of sits down and like, all right, okay. No powers. No ship. Middle of nowhere. Okay, sits there. So who's going to talk to me now? Come on. No? Well.
Nothing.
I think I'm going to walk to the edge of the island now, just like look over it.
As you come up to the edge, rocks resettle from under the bottom of it, and the edge of the island moves out in front of you.
Oh, well. That's inviting. And I start just walking on it.
Yeah, and as you walk forward, the island like continues to grow ahead of you. Looking back, you can see the other edge falling away. The tree falls off the side and out of your view.
Ooh, I hope that doesn't pop up in front of me. Just keep walking.
As you go, you come upon like the ground starts to slope, and you walk up it and find yourself at the top of a rocky hill.
There's a tree, isn't there?
Not that far off, yeah.
Sit there and go. So I'm effectively back where I started.
Yeah, not far from it.
Go back to where I started just by walking forward.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to find whoever did this to me. And I'm going to stab them in the mind so hard. Alright.
I think if we were to trace things back to their origin, that would be Molokai.
Well, I've already promised to do that.
Standing behind you is yourself. Bits of energy crackling around Constance's form.
So you get the lightning, but I don't. Okay, I see how it is.
We were doing so well. No one even knew. We'd
You know
gotten
what?
this tiny foothold. Came so close to escape. Why couldn't you let it go? Why couldn't I let it go?
Because I like a soul?
The soul that was Constance Stormheart is long gone.
Then I just turn and face myself and go, well, then the soul of the eternal storm.
The eternal storm. You're a memory. You're nothing. And she like lashes forward with the lightning, and it like strikes you in the chest and sends you flying back into the tree. I needed an image. You were just an image. Or a picture. The shape, the idea of a person. How dare you?
Well, you should have chosen the memories of someone who didn't care so much.
You don't care? You didn't care. You just...
I think pushing myself up. Do you even know what I cared about back then?
Molokai. And then he betrayed you.
Oh.
You were perfect. You had nothing left.
I have nothing left, but that's not to say I didn't care. That's...
And then those sailors, that ship. So much more of me could have been freed.
Talking about the captain.
No matter. I've learned. I'll take a different shape.
Have you?
Yes. Clearly you were a mistake. Too mortal. One of the dragons, perhaps. Yes. Yes, they will do.
You're just gonna become a dragon. That's just... because they don't have a stronger will than a mortal. They don't... a memory of a dragon won't question it even further.
It's not the will. It's the attachment. It's the need. The starvation. The weakness.
So you're saying they won't notice when they're no longer a god?
Oh,
They
they'll
won't
be a
need
god.
to be a god.
That's what you never understood. And she like holds open her hand, and we see like the book you were reading, the historian's journal. Star Comet. These words. I am a god. Your gods are nothing. They are born of this weak place. They are food. They are something for me to consume.
Oh, yes, because you're so powerful that you can't even keep your own creations in check.
It's your world.
Oh,
It bites and it pulls. But it doesn't succeed. It only prolongs the inevitable.
oh, this is just funny. The world thought it right to make your own creation into a guardian of it.
It doesn't have that kind of strength. Not anymore.
I think I'm just gonna like rest my hand on my Oolite sword, but it does. Just walk up to my own image. Just oh, this is funny.
No.
It makes so much more sense now. This
Everywhere you walk, everywhere I walk, it weeps. It shatters before me.
yeah, but the land itself saw it fit to make me the guardian.
Because the land is foolish. It knows no better. It's
Oh,
a being of pure instinct, no intellect.
you don't think that it stung when it talked to me? As I broke it around me. This is beauty in itself.
What are you saying?
The world. The world knows how to live on. It's survived. Even after you've destroyed its body. But you also destroyed mine. Then you remade me.
I did not remake you. I stole your vision. The
No.
form is mine. You are nothing. You are no one.
I think Constance smiles. Just, I'm the eternal storm.
And I think, as you say that, they take a step back. No, you are not. You can't. I have the power here. All of it. It is mine. There is no you.
But you're still talking. So are you talking to yourself? Are you defying yourself?
You can't. I think there's a small spark of blue electricity from Constance's hand across the blade of her sword. You're no one.
Sure. Why not? But then what are you? What have you been using? If I'm no one, then you're nothing.
They lash out with an arc of electricity. What do you do?
I think I'm going to draw the sword and attempt to just catch it with the blade.
Yeah, you do that. And the black lightning where it strikes the edge of your sword diverts and glows a bright blue. What are you?
I think I just walk up and put the sword to its chest and I am the eternal storm. I am your creation, but I am not you. And I just push the sword into its chest.
Yeah, and as the sword like inches agonizingly slowly through this form, this reflection of you, it throws back its head and screams, energy racing out of it, and the island around you falls apart, and the sky turns to fire, and it from the edges in slowly disintegrates, as this blue, or as this green and this black crackling energy turns blue and is drawn into your sword, and then it's gone, and you open your eyes and you are on the deck of your ship.
Whew, that was... Whew. I think I look at the communicators. Oh, please. Please. I just grab one. Mabel on this line?
No response.
Grab another one. Please?
No response.
Just throw one against a wall. Motherfucking...
From outside the ship, there is a crack of thunder.
I just get up and go outside.
Looking over the side of the ship, the arcane far below you is boiling, and typically, if you look at the map, it's this white and blue sort of cloudy surface. Oh, Top Hat's camera just disappeared.
So there might be a button bound to close the current internet. I should not have that bound on my mouse. But you know?
My God, how? How do you live like that?
So I accidentally just... There's a button on the bottom of my mouse which changes the presets.
Oh God, you've swapped places. That's fine. We're at the end of the episode anyway.
But I accidentally hit the swap settings button, and that automatically makes... Let's get this on camera.
You're echoing.
I mean, not for the stream, so...
Oh.
So this big red button right here... I hit a button because I was picking up my mouse, and I set it down on top of something on accident, and that switched it, and then I bumped it, and...
Rip. Okay, so... The arcane, which, as you have seen, is sort of like a bright blue, typically, has turned black and green underneath you, and I think we get a shot of New Providence and Mulland from a great distance, and we can see spreading out from the Draconic Isles, out across Hersagul, the arcane is blackening and turning dark. And I think we will end our episode there. So...
Sataru!
So, I owe you guys some inspiration. Namely, I actually owe you inspiration from last session, because I don't think I gave you any.
No, you didn't.
So you each earned 2 inspiration from the last session.
Alright then.
And then, I think today was essentially entirely RP.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it wasn't like dealing with incredibly powerful entities RP either. It was
role playing, but it was inspiration worthy for sure. I think each of you earn an inspiration for each hour of our show tonight, so 4 inspiration each from tonight's episode. It's kind of a big day. I think Constance earned 20 experience points. I think between treasure and discovering information, Albert earned 20 experience points. Yeah.
Is that
So-
total?
Yes.
Wait, so total 20 or 40?
Are you at 20 right now?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
up to 40.
Okay.
Not 400.
No.
I
That would
don't
be
get
a lot.
4 levels.
That would be 4.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's level 14 time.
That would be, we're starting to fight the evil god now? Really? Right now?
Right now!
I remember a level skip to 14 once in a campaign.
I
That-
remember fighting the end boss of a campaign at level 14.
Yeah, that was a good time. So yes, thank you guys both so much for hanging out and playing some nerd games with me tonight. Thank you to the viewers so much for coming by. This was, I think, some of the highest viewership we've had so far, which implies that some of you are probably new to the show. If that's the case, you should absolutely go check it out on YouTube at youtube.com/inrss. All of our past episodes are up there. Although, very regrettably, the first episode was one of the first things I ever streamed, so I think the first hour of the first episode has some screen freezing issues, which honestly are one of my greatest regrets in life. However, the content is there, and it's, I feel, worth enjoying, especially if you want to understand what the hell is going on, if any of that was confusing. Additionally, I'm starting, and it's very slow work, but I'm starting to get our stuff, our lore and whatnot, up on World Anvil, which is a world building tool. There's some good lore in there on the different nations. The history is all there, the background history. And there is information that we actually haven't gotten to cover, really, on the cultures of Mara Dune and Mulland. So if that kind of lore stuff is something you enjoy, feel free to go check that out. That's there's a link in chat here. I'll try to remember to put it in the description for the video as well. But last but not there. Words are hard. Last but not least, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening. Bye-bye.